This is the Erin Cruz Show. Politics for the people and by the people. With your host, Erin Cruz.
Okay, well, we are back with the Erin Cruz Show. It's been an election, California election, action-packed day. Many of our candidates that we're featuring today are for running for the California State Assembly, which is very important, especially with the government overreach we're currently seeing in Sacramento. Right now, we have on the telephone with us, on the line here, you can't see her, but she is here. She's going to be telling us all about her race, giving us an update on what's going on in this last wonderful day here in California where people are casting their votes. We have Vicki Nohrden. She's running for the 29th Assembly District. Welcome to the Erin Cruz Show, Vicki.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you for having me today. It's an exciting day. We've been waiting for this day for a long time, and you know, just with an expectation for a real turnaround in California. So thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
Well, you know, of course, it's our honor. You know, you're right. We have an opportunity. Voters have an opportunity. Californians have an opportunity to really vote their conscience, vote their values, and get some common sense back up there on the Hill in Sacramento. So what have you been up to today, this last election day? I'm guessing you voted?
Yes, well, you know, I went and I voted early.
Oh, you
Erin,
did?
I was going to vote. Yes, I did. And I voted early because we had some meetings and some other things. I didn't know how today was going to really go. So we decided to go and cast our ballot right at the election office over in Monterey. And many people have been absentee voting and voting by mail. So there are long lines in the polling places, different places in California. I was reading an article, and people lined up, voting machines broken, different things, polling people not showing up so they don't have the right thing. So, you know, a lot of the things that go on election day. And so my husband and I had decided to vote early. So we went down to do that. And I'm at home, actually, just working on some things and getting ready for election parties and gatherings tonight.
Wonderful.
Just excited. You know, I just want to say to the listeners, because that for California, what I see is just such an opportunity. And these aren't just words. I would just like to say there are all 80 of the assembly seats in the state of California are up for election. 20 of the Senate seats, all 53 congressional seats, and then we have our executive government of governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, controller, attorney general, you know, of course, and then we have also that U.S. Senate seat. But, you know, there's a real opportunity, and I want people to know who might be listening and they're thinking, well, I don't know if I have time to go and vote today. Please do. Please go and vote and let your voice be heard. We have an opportunity, and that way we participated in the process, and whatever the outcome's going to be, we've got to work together on both sides of the aisle. So California, I think you have an opportunity to see waves of mercy and grace. How's that?
Well, that's certainly a good thing. I don't know how that could be a bad thing, Vicki. You know,
yes.
For those people who are on the fence, because there are some people who haven't voted today, and you know, we put all this out on social media. This is a live broadcast on many different networks over the internet. For those people who are up there in Monterey in the 29th district, and they haven't decided who they're going to vote for, why should they vote for Vicki?
Well, I think that there's an opportunity that I've been running throughout this district and talking to voters, knocking on doors, and letting them know that we're very interested in what they're concerned about in the district, not just what big government or legislators or, you know, lobbyists up in Sacramento are concerned about, but really what the people are concerned about of what's going on in their district and how we can work together to addressing these issues, not only on county levels, but working together with laws that would be passed and things that would be affecting us coming out of Sacramento. And I'm a very common sense kind of gal. I've worked in local government at the level of serving on the civil grand jury for a term and a half, working with all different professional people from different backgrounds. Doesn't matter if they were Democrat or Republican, declined to state. We all worked together because we had a job to do. And I also serve as a CASA, which is a court-appointed special advocate for kids, been very active on the school campuses and in my community in other ways. And so my background in working with families and in the community has made an impact on a lot of people's life. And I do believe we have a lot of support. People who have been registered Democrats or independents are voting for me. I mean, they have told me, we're going to vote for you. So I believe that our message is a clear message that we're here to get something done, stop being a log in the midst of the legislature up there, but reaching to say we have to come up with some solutions because we know we have problems, but we have to work together. And to let the people know, in representing this district, I'm going to be representing Democrats, Republican, declined to state, independents, libertarians. So we have to be able to listen to the concerns of all the people, and I feel that I would do that very well.
Right. Well, I certainly can tell from our interactions and our communication up till now that you are a strong communicator, that you're able to, part of the issue is these legislators up on the Hill don't listen. And I ask a lot of questions, and I know I go into these long-winded questions. People are like, why is she asking such a long question? Part of it is it looks like I'm rambling or I'm thinking, but really the thing is I'm trying to see what I'm going to ask and how is the candidate going to respond. And every single time that I've posed a question to you, you really listen to what I'm saying. What I'm trying to communicate to you, what question it is that I'm really asking you. And then you respond appropriately. You're not in a rush. And I think that's part of it, is these politicians are in such a rush and such an agenda-driven state. They're not serving the people. They're not getting down to what the real needs are and then doing the good work, because they can't do that without proper communication. Part of that is listening. Part of that is then taking, objective approach and then taking action. And that's something that I see that you've done real well, at least in our interviews. And it seems to me from what I'm reading online that the people out there are responding to you in the same way. And it would be good for the people of the 29th District to have somebody like you in office who will listen. Because currently they don't have someone in office listening.
Well, thank you, Erin. I really appreciate that. And to be really and honest and fair and all of that, that's what the people of the community are saying. They are saying he's never around. That's my opponent who I'm running against. That he's not around. He's not here listening to the concerns of the people. I recently had an opportunity to speak up at the UC campus in Santa Cruz, and my opponent was supposed to be there, and he wasn't there. I did show up. There had been quite a ruckus and a lot of hissing and booing for some of the other candidates who were there representing the city council, and it has really to do with the rent control issue. But they'd even advised me, Vicki, you probably don't want to go in there. And I had to make a decision, and I thought, no, the message I have isn't so strong about what I can do and what my campaign is, but how we can work together. And said, we come from all different backgrounds and different nationalities, but there's one thing that we have in common, and that we're all people, and that we have these issues that need to be solved, but it's not going to be solved by shouting and protesting and, doing all these things.
Divisiveness isn't helping. There's no conversation there.
No. And that's what I said to them. And so they never hissed at me. They never booed at me. At the end, they applauded and they thanked me for coming. And this was not a conservative group who had invited me. And so they listened. And I just felt like I brought some good common sense and some wisdom to say, we've got to do this, but we've got to work together. We have such a big divide that my concern is that the people will fall through the cracks. And if we don't, if we're not willing to listen to one another and we keep allowing all the party politics to just divide us, we're not going to get anything done. And that's what I've seen, Erin, and that really concerns me. So to the voters who haven't voted yet, who might be listening, would you please give me an opportunity to make a difference in District 29? And my district covers a large portion of Monterey County, most of the Bay Area, Santa Cruz, and up into Santa Clara. It's a large district, and there's a diversity of people. But it's a 2-year term. I'd appreciate an opportunity for your vote. If you're listening out there, you could go to my website, VickiNohrden2018.com, or my Facebook page, Vicki Nohrden AD29. I have all kinds of videos on there, and how I'm looking at issues. And so I just encourage the voters to go ahead and take a look for themselves.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for sharing with us, Vicki, and giving us an update. We can't wait to see the election results tonight.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know. It's a red tsunami 2018 and beyond, because it doesn't stop here, Vicki. It doesn't stop here. It's not going to stop in 2018. We need Trump 2020. We need, as many seats as we can garner at the local level all the way up. And it's not just a Republican thing. It's citizen servant leadership, people who will serve the population and restore law and order and common sense to this crazy state of ours. Vicki, one last thing. If you could share with us the one thing that you will do when you get into office, the first thing that you'll do when you get into office, what would that be?
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, I believe that where our district and really throughout the state of California, we are dealing with some mental health issues, homelessness, and crime. And a lot of those things are linked together. And it's not just people who are homeless, who have been homeless for a long time. It also has to do with our families and children who aren't living in homes anymore, but living in motels. And we have got to come up with some solutions that begin to deal with some of those issues. And also Prop 69 has been collecting the millionaire tax money, and I'm wondering what they're doing with that. So I am really going to go after that. Some auditing, maybe? To be honest with you, Erin. Pardon me?
Some auditing, perhaps, and looking at public safety and homelessness, veterans issues, family issues, mental health issues. Well, that's a good start. That's a big bite into the corrupt sandwich in Sacramento, but we know that you can do it, and we do need help. We need somebody strong up there who's going to take the time and make the time to look at that. Well, thank you again.
And I want to just say one last thing, too. I look forward to working together with the newly elected candidates as well, and I think it will be exciting to see what is about to happen with those 80 assembly seats and, of course, the other seats that are up for election. And I want to encourage our voters, if you haven't voted yet, please vote yes on 6 to repeal the gas tax. I spoke to that campaign this morning, and I understand they were up 1-2 points of what they did some polling from yesterday. So for those listeners, yes on 6 to repeal the gas tax. That's one thing I think is also important, Erin. And I just thank you so much for an opportunity to be with you today, and for your listeners, thank you for listening in, and let's follow up after election.
Oh, yes, we will definitely follow up after election. There's a lot of work to do, and like I said, it doesn't stop here. We have to get better at communicating, at working with one another, if we're going to really, truly make restorative change happen in California and get this state back on track. And it's going to be a lot of work. I think it can be a lot of fun. And we can do a lot of great things with the citizens, but we all have to participate, right?
We all have to participate, and we're looking forward to you running again, Erin. So I really appreciate you as well, and getting together at some point, even after this election, and talking about some of the issues that we can work together and see what we can do to bring change. So I appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. There are a lot of things on the table that we're looking at, and we have a lot of work ahead of us, so we will do that. Thank you again, Vicki, for coming on the Erin Cruz Show. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Erin. I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get out there and vote. Make sure that you vote in the 29th District for someone who will listen to you and get the good work done, meet her goals, and help get this state back on track. That is Vicki Nohrden. She is running for California State Assembly again in the 29th District. God bless all of you. God bless California, and God bless the United States
all right,
of America.
Same to you, Erin. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.